Hello everyone, I am Srishti and it's been a long time that I've been speaking on some new topic. Reason being me getting a little caught up with my work. So, with the situation which is going on in my life currently, because I am currently teaching students only, and whatever situation happens in my life, depending upon that, I generally make videos where I talk about something. So it's always dependent upon the contemporary situation going on in my life. So now the topic on which I would be talking are the three most important things which I feel or I believe and I found is very important to have a healthy relationship with anyone. So, considering the bond with all of my students, be it a 5 year old or 6 year old or even a 15 or 16-year old, because I have been teaching students from preschool to 12th level currently. So, I have students of different age group and seeing all of them evolving with different levels of emotions is really interesting. To understand the different age groups together is sometimes challenging but yet very much interesting, because you get to understand how a child feels like when they are very small, just 4 or 5 year old preschool, trying to understand letters and words, how emotions evolve in them, and whether it's a boy or a girl, and how it gradually changes from person to person of the same age group or different age group, throughout the span of what I've mentioned here, the age group. So, what I found, and I wanted all of the people to understand, are the three things which anyone and everyone should follow. Is first one is trust. Trust is whether it's your parent or friend or teacher or anyone, you should know how to develop a trust by always speaking the truth. This is the first point. Currently, in the last past week, I have found every student doing something or the other, saying lies or just preventing to say the truth, because they are maybe scared and don't want to disappoint the person, doesn't want their flaws and limitations to be portrayed in the outer world. They want them everyone to know that they are the best. This is a human emotion which evolves in all of us, and if it is not corrected from childhood, this actually affects us when we grow up into adults, creating inferiority complex, which actually creates jealousy among people and many more complicated emotions. So, the first most important thing is we all of us need to understand that we can be vulnerable. We can be like open with our emotions. Even if we are not perfect, it's not a problem. We can do mistakes. The only thing which I keep on teaching all of my students, like most important point which I feel like is they should learn that you don't need to be perfect all the time. I generally don't scold my students. The reason which evolves, the only problem which grows up with this is that since I don't scold any of them, so whenever I speak a little bit loudly also with any of them, they really get affected by that. So as parents or elders, we need to explain them that they don't need to get afraid, or like don't need to get scared. And the children also need to understand that if they don't say the truth, there are many issues that can grow up, because they are children and they don't know what is right and wrong. They might be thinking, okay, I can manage the situation like this, and this particular activity will keep on growing within them, and as adults they will become this kind of an adult and no one would be able to trust them. Nowadays people are not able to trust each other, or there are trust issues, because from the childhood this has grown up. And many a times it is found that the parents themselves teach the children small small lies, like you can hide this from your teacher by saying this. I myself have seen many parents doing that. I have understood, I have seen them. Parents are saying something to me and the child is saying, no, no, it is like, it was like that. So these things we don't need to do. We don't need to make the children learn that they need to hide. It's better that they speak the truth. The person who is there in front would be just getting like feeling bad for few minutes or seconds or few days maybe, but the person will eventually understand, okay, this is their situation and this is my situation and this is not matching, but at least the person spoke the truth. Because lie never hides. Some day or the other, somewhere, somehow, the lie will come out, and then there will be trust issues, and then the relationship will be getting affected. So this is not only for children, this is for adults also. Like, trust creating a trust, building a trust is really important. It's not about I'm a loyal person with my partner or someone. Being a loyal person with a stranger also is necessary. This is a very important point because this creates our character also. We become a trustworthy person. Otherwise, everything is just wasted. First point covered. Second point. So, if I talk about the second point, it's about if we have any problem with someone whom we know, it's better if we clear the problem and discuss it with the person instead of going to another person and telling them about the problem as a complaint and telling them to solve it. This will actually make the relationship weaker with the person with whom you have the dispute or the issue suddenly. And at the same time, this will also make your character as a very weak character. Like you will become a very weak person. Your personality will be always trying to get dependent. Like your personality will be such that you will always try to get dependent on someone else. You will not be confident that you can do something on your own. If you don't learn how to like deal with your emotions by yourself, then you will never be able to do anything on your own. You'll always feel like I need help, I need help. So this is another point. Also, the relationship with the person will get affected because the person will feel like, am I a stranger? If you don't know the person, if he or she is a stranger, then you always need to talk with someone else. But if you know the person already, I'm talking about relations where these are old relations or where you know the person and it's maybe a family or a relative or a friend or anything. So there, if you don't talk with the person directly, then what happens? The person also gets affected. Okay, what's the point of calling someone else all the time and creating a like complaint kind of a situation and like that. So it's not necessary always to complain and call someone else. Sometimes many teachers do this, that they complain the parent at a first day. Sometimes it's necessary depending upon the seriousness of the situation. Sometimes it can be handled but between the teacher and the student. Sometimes it can be handled between two friends instead of calling a third friend in between. So if it is not very serious or necessary to be like looked upon by someone third person with whom we are talking. For example, if a child is not studying for many days and the child is not interested to do but has exams, obviously the teacher needs to say. Or the child is misbehaving, the teacher needs to say. But if for example it is between two friends and the third friend doesn't have any like role here actually, you talk to the friend and say that please help me in solving this. If it is not necessary, you can do by yourself also. So this is like variant with different situations, but it's better that we clear with the person ourselves first, and if the third person can actually help us, we should go to the third person, not before that. Okay, so second point covered. And the third point, most important point, which I feel for life, is all the points are equally important, but this one is think before you do something. There is a proverb also, look before you leap. So you should think at least 2-3 times before you say something, before you do something, and before you actually execute something in your life. Might be a business plan, it might be anything which you say to your friend, it can be just doing an action of scolding someone, speaking loudly, misbehaving, trusting, anything. It can be a positive behavior, it can be a negative behavior, but you need to think at least 2 to 3 times before you actually do it. It doesn't mean you need to be an overthinker and think every situation which you need, but if when there is an action, you first think that should I do this and then do. It's not about you want to drink water, you'll think for 5 times should I drink water or not. You want to write something, you'll think for 5 times. It's not like that. It's like situations where you want to say something to somebody, you want to like react to a situation, you want to like end something like a plan or a business or a relationship. You want to end something, you want to begin something. When there is something, a change is coming in between, there is something different happening. So for those situations, you should always think a little bit longer, decide the pros and cons, understand it, and then do. If not, then the sudden actions and actions taken in speed might be dangerous. So in Hindi we say shaitan ka kaam, jaldi ka kaam, shaitan ka, something like that. And in English, we say the sooner the better. So it's like everything which happens sooner means when you do the things faster, it's better. But when you do with speed, faster with speed, without thinking, then it's not good. So think before you do anything. Thank you so much. Take care. Bye bye.